Here we are at the UWI JFF captain Horace Burrell Centre of Excellence for this fixture in the Jamaica Premier League, match number 18 of this inaugural season. It's Humberland FC versus Vere United. Two Clarendon teams clash. 3 points the prize in this game. Referee Farquharson just awaiting the signal from his fourth official, who gives him that signal now. And we're on the way here at the UWI JFF captain Horace Burrell Centre of Excellence. Match 18 in the Jamaica Premier League. A Clarendon derby. Humberland in the red shorts and the green jerseys. Vere in green and white, immediately on the attack. Plummer, the only man in white in the 18-yard box. Doesn't come to him easy. Meat and drink for Michael Harrison, his early touch in this game.
Well, it's good to see Vere going on the offensive pretty early, looking to press high up. We haven't seen that from their previous games.
Yeah, foul called. The Vere man, wearing number 9, Ricardo Messam, attacking from the right wing position, deemed to have committed the infringement. There's Big Andrew Price, a man who knows a lot about pressure, coached Boys Town, demanding support, given their pedigree in the competition. And oh, a bad giveaway. Andrew Vance kicks it into touch and apologizes immediately for Humberland.
Yeah, Coach Price, despite saying he's not under pressure, I'm pretty sure he'll want to get off the mark today. So Vere making the early running. Does he have a cross? Lewis slips it nicely. This is Romain Plummer. Tries to play him with the 1-2. And it runs behind a misplaced pass. Plummer was here with Jamalco and has stayed with the team under its new guys. On his day, a handful. But I must admit, the last season we saw him, there weren't many of those days. But there's a player in Romain Plummer. I guess that's why Coach Dookie included him today. He wasn't in the previous game. He brought him in for this game. So I suspect what he's seen in training, he suspect that player may come out today.
It's what you call a ball handler, Romain Plummer, when he's really on. Humberland building from the back. And wearing 51, Linval Lewis, wearing the captain's armband. Surveys the landscape, doesn't like what he sees just yet. Booms downfield. Williams trying to get onto it. Ricardo Campbell trying to clear, doesn't get it. Williams. Humberland's first foray this deep into Vere territory. Vanzi switches the approach. Oh, good work by Messam. But then the touch was heavy. And the follow-through caught him. He's appealing for a free kick. Referee Farquharson paying him no mind.
But a better start from Vere today in terms of the attacking plays, looking to unleash Messam on a few occasions so far.
Yeah, I didn't see a foul in that, but there was a booming follow through, because I guess the centre half had to go hard to put off the attacker, and he left something on him. Looking at the right side, maybe the ribs.
Yeah, he did. The follow through was really high, but I think Messam invited that challenge with that second touch. It was just a bit too heavy, and the defender took the invitation.
Yeah, there's not much of Messam, so you can understand a blow like that. And this is Drake, no nonsense. Yeah, it was the follow through with the studs. He got the studs full.
Yes.
Full on. But Drake was entitled to tackle like that, right?
Yes, because of that second touch from Messam. And as you say, a defender, you're going to want to leave your mark pretty early on your attacking players.
So we start with a drop ball, will we, or it's a throw to Humberland? I think it's a throw to Humberland, yeah. Well, sportingly, he gives it back to Vere to restart the play. Lumsden. Foul there, the man taking the blow, the man wearing number 24, Tyrese Harrison.
We notice Harrison, he's supposed to be that point man for Vere, dropping in deep, and that could be a feature of their play where we have runners going beyond him. And from the looks of things, Vere might be doing more attacking in this game, as we suspect.
Lovely turn from Thomas. And here's Levon Williams. Doesn't really have support. Marshaled well by the defense so far.
Excellent tackle on this near side.
I think that was Lewis. It's really been a revelation, I tell you. George wasn't in the first team for the first game, and came in because a player to be removed from the starting lineup. But since that day, Lewis has been ever present in Duke's starting lineup, the number 5 for Vere. In fact, on the day he came in, he won the Man of the Match award.
Oh, lovely turn to get rid of 2 there from Shamar O'Connor. Go back to his goalkeeper. Poor kick. Still finds a man in a white shirt. Poor attempt at a control there from Harrison. And Humberland with Chambers and Vance exchanging passes in the middle of the field. So the game not really taking a defined pattern yet from either team. Still early in the 6th minute we are.
But one thing you're getting is the intensity.
Yes.
And that's what you expect with a derby game.
I was about to remark that you have that edge already. Here's Drake on the chase. I'm struggling to recognize Drake because in the time that we've done Premier League football, Drake has always had the plaited hairstyle. So I was wondering who's that guy with the clean shave.
New season, new look.
There you go. Lewis, we've seen this several times, has possession, doesn't have a passing option, and he gives the ball away.
I think that's what you're getting from Vere, and as you mentioned, Coach Duke's team. They may not pressure the man on the ball, but they block the passing lane, so well organized, and so in effect, they're really putting pressure on the person on the ball.
Correct you are, and so the passing stats will show that Humberland have lorded the possession, but it's because they spend so much time in one place with the ball not moving.
Yes, not hurting their opponent.
Oh, 50-50 challenge here. Dallas going in hard, and the man screaming is Shamar O'Connor. Caught some studs there, and they can tell that he felt that.
It was a firm challenge from Dallas.
Yep.
Got ball first, but just a little bit of the studs got into the calf of O'Connor.
They're not committing too many men forward. There's Harrison, and Harrison is in the box. And he has 2 teammates for company. Campbell goes long though. And out in touch for a throw. It's a Vere throw. Trevor and Solomon putting some pressure there. Oh, another crunching tackle. Referee says play on. Back in defense to Lumsden. Campbell now. Lewis. Doesn't use him. Back to Campbell. Brown to Lumsden. Drake comes across like a good centre half does, helping his fullback who was retreating, running in the wrong direction. Snuffed out the danger.
Yeah, from the looks of things in terms of a pattern, we've seen where Vere pretty much targeted the right side of Humberland. That's where, for the most part, even with the free kick from Campbell, that's the side he went to find Messam.
Javier Brown has seen a lot of the ball so far for the men in white and green. Poor pass from him this time though. Oh, Humberland gift it back to Vere. Williams claims dibs on it. Back with their skipper. Drake now. Vanzi. Nice flick forward by Thomas. Humberland on the attack. Williams though was slow to get there. Really needed to have put on the jet heels and a turn behind for a corner by Plummer, the attacker in his 6-yard box defending for Vere United, and he needed to be there.
Yes, he needed to be there because that was a good ball, an attempting play back into the danger zone, just inviting one of his attacking players to get on the end of it. first pass into the box. Just didn't have the players arriving in time. But on the second attempt, would have had players waiting in that danger zone.
So the first corner of the game goes to Humberland. Road now to Vanzi. First touch good. There's Lewis under pressure. Vanzi again. Goes wide to Roden. Roden has several green shirts to aim for in the box with this cross. The skipper went up Campbell and competed well for Vere United, who are looking to come out of defense. Plummer. Brown. Lovely by Brown, switching the point of attack. The transition is now on the right. The ball breaks for Salomon.
You see Harrison well marshaled there in the defense, but Messam has been instrumental so far for Vere.
Aiming for a FIBA Chambers with that pass from central midfield from Rico Edwards, but pass was weak. Here come Vere once again. Vanzi goes through with a sliding tackle. Referee sees nothing wrong with that. Roden back to his captain Lewis, to Vanzi. Rodney wanted to play forward, but he was called back by his more senior players. And Vanzi back to Drake. They're not pressing high. They're allowing Humberland to exchange passes just outside their own 18-yard box and then engage them when they come up into midfield. Campbell now for Vere. Lewis. First touch, not clean enough from Ricardo Dennis, but Plummer to Dennis. Back to Plummer on the run. Rodney chasing. Plummer under pressure, being held by Rodney. Free kick.
I think Rodney they're using all means necessary to stop, because had he allowed, you felt he couldn't keep pace with Plummer. And what we've seen from the four behind the main strikers here for Vere early in the game, I know Coach Dookie said he wasn't going to change his tactics to influence the game, but we've seen that might have been a double bluff, because it's looking very much more attacking, and the four up front, the wide players are getting a lot on the ball, and the two attacking midfielders are doing well to join Harrison.
Skipper takes charge of this free kick for Vere United. They've left two men back there. Humberland have one man forward. So they've committed 6 men in the box for this free kick from Ricardo Campbell. And an excellent point being made by our producer Dwight, because you'd have thought that the centre half, who's a specialist at heading, would be positioned in the box to receive a free kick like this, but he was the one taking it.
We've seen it so often in football. We see strikers taking corners. I've seen even for you know, in this league here, we've seen Webster taking the corners for Cavalier, and he's such a good header of the football. So sometimes it's that toss up with the coach in terms of the better deliverer of the football, and maybe Campbell is one who can pick somebody out expertly. So he has gone for the delivery and hope that one of his players will gamble and get on the end of it.
Campbell again going to the right. That area that Dwight has highlighted, that Vere are looking to target down the Humberland left. But his pass aimed at the man wearing number 9. Just too long. Ricardo Messam, not a chance of gathering that.
And sometimes that's what you get. They have the win, but is it an advantage? Sometimes they have to measure the pass, and sometimes just too much on it. There's a little win behind them, Vere, and that might have contributed to that overhit pass from Campbell.
Humberland will build from the back again. And look, nobody in white looking to close down the man passing. Vanzi has all the time in the world to make this pass. Now under a challenge. Chambers takes it down in midfield for Humberland, loses it. Yeah. took a shot to the face.
George, you mentioned that Umberline are backing off like a half press, blocking those lanes. But what Vere that is. But what Umberline will have to do is to try and win those second balls when they're forced to go long, and not hitting the target, or their target may be under pressure, but they're not winning those second balls, and that's why they're not retaining possession when they go long.
Chambers under pressure from two Vere attackers, and they retreat Umberline. Chambers now, the ex-Reno man, back to his captain Lewis. Vanzi has some time. Uses Drake. Vanzi again, what does he do now? Which direction does he go? He's appealing for runners. Chambers. Have so much time on the ball, the Umberline went up to the halfway line. Vere not really interested in pinching possession there. It's a Umberline throw.
Yeah, oftentimes you see Vere here dropping deep and just not allowing space in behind the defensive line to allow runners to get in there. That's pretty much a case where Coach Duke's tactics are at play.
Vanzi. Thomas now to Williams. Williams will try his luck from the distance, but didn't really catch that.
So much so that the goalkeeper just controlled it. But Vanzi has been on the ball a lot for Umberline, just not being able to influence it with those defense splitting pass at the moment, not having the movement in front of him as he so desires.
Williams being sent back, ignores that instruction, trying to free Rodney down the right, but it's broken up. Here comes Plummer. Fouled by Williams, but the referee plays advantage. Wasn't really much of an advantage, but then they get the throw in near side. Known Plummer a long time in this league, and his name was always Plummer, but today he has a B in his last name. So I don't know if he has changed that, or the official jersey printer has, knows something we don't.
Yes. Hope it's not an extra weight on his back.
There you go.
Today.
Well, if it's Plummer, he may be a Mario brother. Here's Vanzi. Looking for Williams. Can he bring it under his spell? No.
But I think Vere will be comfortable with Umberline trying to play those long passes. Very good defensively, big centre of big players able to rise and win those headers and fight for that second ball. Not much goal mouth activity.
No.
A lot in the middle of the park, which, as we say, you get that with these games where the emotions are high. Quality sometimes gets sacrificed for that.
Lewis to O'Connor. Dances around one, challenge around two. Here's O'Connor. Goes for goal from there. Highly ambitious from O'Connor, but didn't really have much else on. Had Plummer to his left. Really wasn't interested in that pass. And in the end, only gives Harrison the inconvenience of having to retrieve that ball from wide.
And his point man, Harrison, wasn't in a position to. He was well marshaled by Drake, so I guess he felt the shot was the only thing he had.
Williams, nice chest trap. A la Cottrell, king of Arnett guards. Here's Rodney, under pressure from Plummer. Williams helps him out. Plummer wins out for Vere. 51% of the possession controlled by Umberline. Not surprising there, but they've spent so much time with the ball just outside their 18-yard box, like right here.
Nice, and Vere is okay with them doing that, it appears.
For sure. Thomas, under pressure from Lumsden, loses out, but he was fouled by the big Vere centre half.
You get the feeling that a game like this, set plays are going to be probably the best means for either of these teams to open the scoring. When you get closer to the 18-yard box, maybe that's going to be telling in this game because of what we've seen so far from open play.
Yeah, Vanzi floats this one forward, header over, and the goalkeeper collects this all day. Kadeem Davis. James Thomas, that's him. Powerfully built, ex-Glenmuir High School player. and staying with his parish, playing for a Clarendon team in the top flight. So a waltz between people who are committed to other lovers, it would seem. Not really much action on the dance floor in terms of a serious waltz, but here comes Vere United once again. Off the left foot, he kicks the turf. Wow. Messam had eyes for the goal. Really didn't execute that shot well.
And he had other options as well. Plummer was on this side there, and he had his overlapping Solomon as well. Felt that the decision making there was poor from Messam.
Here's Plummer. O'Connor has looked bright for Vere so far, this number 25. Slips it inside to Dennis. Dennis hurdles a tackle, but he's fouled by Lewis. And he's holding his shin and rolling around Ricardo Dennis. And a yellow card produced by referee Farquharson. Linval Lewis going in aggressively there and leaving something on Ricardo Dennis.
Yeah, that was a very firm and rough tackle there from Lewis. I think quite fitting for the yellow card. We spoke about set pieces. Here we have one coming up for Vere. You feel the coaches would have anticipated this. Looking at the challenge there, yes. Really firm challenge. Yeah, just high boots and no ball there.
Didn't intend to play the ball because the challenge was so high. You could accept that if he was trying to clear a bouncing ball, the ball on the floor and his swing high.
Looking to clear the player more than the ball.
So we've seen Ricardo Campbell, the captain, from a set piece for Humberland. Now Dennis being pulled away by Messam. And Dennis seems to be the one who will take this. Harrison organizing a three-man wall, inclusive of Vanzi, Levon Williams and Rodney. Two tall players and a shortish one. Afiba Chambers also being drawn into the wall. So it's a four-man wall being constructed by Mikhail Harrison. So we know the stance. Ronaldo gave it to us.
They've all adapted it.
Yep. Before him, Janina Pernambucano, the Brazilian who played for Lyon. The first time I saw that stance was him. But Ronaldo took it to another level. Can Dennis perform a Ronaldo or a Juninho from this free kick? Vere United with this chance. And he may have hit a bird in a tree behind the goal.
Certainly not his intention, but yeah, didn't wrap around it as he would have liked. Felt he went too much under it and leaning back as well. That technique will not take it up and over and down. He got it up and over, but didn't allow it to come down.
All right, so the first water break of the game is happening now. So based on what we've seen so far, Dwight, we've spoken a lot about what Vere have been doing from an offensive position. How would you think Andrew Price would be feeling about what his team have done so far?
I think he wouldn't be happy in terms of the attacking plays because we've seen Vanzi on the ball a lot and very often not having an option to go forward, and he goes sideways, not really being able to penetrate the Vere defense and the defense organizing. So I think that's something that Coach Price will want to work out, using this water break to double up in terms of rehydrating his players, but trying to get some tactical information to them in terms of trying to break down this Vere team. But what I've seen too is that maybe on the counter could be something good for them, because unlike what we've seen from Vere so far in the league, they're committing more players forward, and so will take some time in getting organized. So Humberland should try and play a little bit faster in transition.
In terms of the Vanzi influence so far for Humberland, you mentioned that he was going side to side. But to be fair to him, though, I've seen him a few times in this game so far, Dwight, in possession and asking for movement, asking for someone to show for a pass.
That's what I was saying. He has not had the help in terms of the movements in front of him, and his going forward is not his own doing, not being able to do so.
The Humberland boys really going in hard, in keeping with what Dwight said. It would be a physical game given that this is a derby. Vanzi, Dallas leaving something in, and so also Drake. And then this tackle from the Humberland captain, Linval Lewis, cleaning up Ricardo Dennis and getting the game's only yellow card so far. All right, so we're back on the way from that water break.
One thing is for sure, we're going to see a lot more of those challenges throughout this half and into the second half, I think. But I think this game needs a goal, and that could help to settle things out, or at least get one of those teams to really express themselves.
Tyrese Harrison up front for Vere United so far hasn't seen much of the ball, it must be said, Dwight, as he looks to close down Linval Lewis right here. He needs to get into the game.
A few times that his team has been on the ball, they've looked to shoot from distance.
Here's LeVon Williams skipping across one challenge, squares it, and Thomas flicks it on. Shot on goal by Dallas. Oh, excellent save by Kadeem Davis with the right hand. Spectacular save. Shot didn't really have much venom.
No, I think he sacrificed venom for placement.
Foul in the center circle, no. The referee says nothing wrong with that. And Humberland come once again out of their water break. They did bear their fangs. Dallas to Chambers. Chambers trying to find Williams, but Lewis stepped in and now Plummer. Driving through the midfield, doesn't have many options and going the wrong way, and Vanzi doesn't feel he really fouled him. I'm agreeing with Vanzi. What should he have done? This is great.
I agree with you on that occasion. I think Plummer really went into Vanzi looking for it, and it looks like he was going to lose possession of it. Here we have a look at it again. Well, in a sense, Vanzi, but he looked like he was losing possession.
Chambers' control isn't clean. Oh, flick forward! It's a goal for Vere United. The man number 9, Ricardo Messam. It was untidy from the center, from FIBA Chambers, who found himself in the center half position. Didn't deal with it cleanly. And Messam's flick, instinctive, beating goalkeeper Michael Harrison. And he, the goalkeeper, displeased at the quality of defending, which left him really in a position where he couldn't do much to stop Messam's flick.
And Messam has been bright all day. We talk about a goal coming from set piece, albeit it was just inside the Humberland half, but once it was played over, as you see here, defender was at fault, should have cleared that one. That should have been drink and bread for him all day long. But we saw early in the game it was Messam who was the player who was doing most of the attacking play for Vere, and it's not surprising that he has been the one to put them ahead.
Yeah, it was a centre half's error. It was Drake, so yes, it was a man in a centre half's position because he's a centre half. Drake was there, and the ball bounced beneath his attempt to trap it. Didn't trap the ball at all, and Messam nipped in, and it was a nice flick. Knew it instinctively where the goalkeeper was, and sought to put the ball where the goalkeeper wasn't. Neat and tidy from Vere, rather untidy defending from Humberland. Andrew Price won't be pleased.
Not be pleased, and Drake, you feel, should have had just clear it and not try and trap it. And it would have been better served to do so.
Yeah, you're onto something there, Dwight, because a ball like that, you swing first time to just clear your lines.
Exactly.
But how do you try to control the ball inside your 6-yard box? Kamara Drake will have that question to answer.
With players on rushing.
Yeah, for real. When halftime comes, if it stays the same, he'll have to explain to his coach why he was trying to control a bouncing ball like that in his 6-yard box.
Yes, a lapse in concentration, and you feel, I think for me, the neutral, had it been Humberland who score, you feel maybe you're going to have a really open game. I think with Coach Duque getting the go-ahead goal, we suspect it could be back to what we've seen from his team so far. Really deep line and just looking to close this game out from pretty early.
Wow, you're setting your stall out quite early, Dwight, because there's a book in the Bible called The Lamentations of Jeremiah. Already you're lamenting about this game being shut down by Vere. That's amazing.
That could be the case. We hope not. We hope not. But even it was on the back, this goal came on the back of Davis for Vere, pulling off a very good save. I think it was from a shot from
Lewin. It was Lewin's shot, checked onto the right foot.
Yes. And Davis has really been, he was a player to watch, or is the player to watch for Vere, I think, and as such has really been good for them, not conceding a goal all season.
Vanzi with this free kick, Humberland loading up the box. Finds it low to the near post. Trying to get the flick on was Dallas. Big clearance. Lewis in control of that. Gets the help of his goalkeeper. Did he leave an elbow in the throat of the man who's down on the ground from we're number 24, Tyrese Harrison? The referee is interested in it. He's going to ask his assistant, is he going across? Yes, he is. Farquharson is going across to his assistant to ask, what did you see?
Mind you, Lewis is on a yellow card.
Yes, he is. And Lewis got there, played the ball back to his goalkeeper, was under pressure from Harrison, and did he leave an elbow in the throat of the young attacker for Vere is the question.
Trying to correct
yes,
his
he
pass.
did. Yes, he did. The referee has gone to his back pocket. This is the play. It was a forearm, really.
Well, let's look at the first one, if we could get it again. Maybe it's the first one that was more of an elbow. But yeah, he didn't have much purchase on the pass back to his goalkeeper, and as such was trying to correct that and protect his pass. And you feel that first one, I think, is the one we need to see.
Straight red card. It's a straight red card, not a second yellow. It's a straight red card from referee Farquharson for Linval Lewis, who doesn't protest, strangely enough. He knew what he did. Doesn't protest at all. Walks off in compliance with the referee's directive. And Humble Lion have fallen into a hole. They've lost their captain in this, the 31st minute, and they're down a goal. And it's a free kick in a dangerous-ish position for Vere United.
Yeah, I mean, Vere here will want to just rub salt into the wound. But if he was under pressure before coming into this one, pretty sure Coach Price is really under pressure even from this game alone. To try and come back to in this one with only 10 players and already down a goal, and knowing what he's up against, a Dookie team that is very, very organized. Let's look at it again here, George.
So the pass comes.
It's the
no,
like the second one.
Yeah, but I'm sorry though. I don't know. I'm not agreeing with that straight red card.
Maybe another yellow.
But another yellow.
Yeah, but it would mean in terms of how many games you would miss.
Understand?
Yeah.
But I'm saying
it's still soft for another yellow.
Yes, if I'm referee Farquharson, I'm probably talking to him.
One.
Yes, I'm talking to him sternly.
Yes.
I'm not sending him off.
Knowing
for that,
and the context of the game as well.
Correct, you are. I'm not sending him off for that. I'm sorry.
Well, he's a teacher by profession, industrial tech teacher, maybe a firm one. I understand that William name.
Well, no nonsense. Here's Javier Brown with this free kick. Is it short? The ball whipped in and blocked by Dallas on the cover. That's good defending from Humble Lion with the 10 men.
With all fairness, though, to the referee Farquharson, he was spoken to by his assistant, and so maybe was influenced by the assistant who was closer to the play.
And there's no doubt, because when the Humble Lion players asked him, why have you produced a red card, he made the gesture, the universal gesture with the elbow. So he was told that Lewis elbowed Harrison. So I guess when those factors are concerned, he didn't have a choice but to produce the red card.
Exactly.
All right, that's history now, though. So Humble Lion down to 10 men, down a goal, and Vere have a corner. Goes towards the back post, headed away by Drake, the man whose mistake cost his team the goal. And Humble Lion really up against it. Dwight, it's gone pear-shaped for Humble Lion since the water break. Coming onto the water break, they conceded the goal, and then they went a man down soon after.
Yeah, I think I suggested that because of the tactics of Vere early on, they may have to play on the counter. Well, most definitely would appear that would be their tactics going forward, Humble Lion, because they will have to soak up a lot of pressure and try and hit on the counter. If they do have more speedy players, then they may look to bring them on, if not now early in the second half.
Donovan Duque, an acolyte of Jose Mourinho, really admires the Portuguese. So will he try to hold a 1-0 lead against 10 men, or will he go forward?
I wouldn't bet against the former.
Duque putting on the mask. Looking at the Humble Lion bench, Dwight, there's not much creativity there. No Vishnu Harris today, who could be called upon. I'm sure he's one of those who is probably out due to injury.
I think he got the goal for them in the last game.
Yes, he did.
Against Waterhouse, but yeah, that's on it in the last game that they lost 2-1. So your beloved team did have to come from behind, George.
Yeah. This is a painful one, Dwight. It was a knee in the thigh, and I was really feeling the pain here. He has the captain's armband now, but they really need inspiration, this Humble Lion team. There was O'Connor with the foul, hobbling to get into the box to support Vanzi here with this free kick in the 35th minute. Swings it in. Dallas gets the flick on, and there's a handball, lifeline for Humble Lion. Javere Brown, the unfortunate man, defending, and the ball flicked up from the header from the Humble Lion attacker onto his hand. I think I saw it hit his hand and not the arm. Whichever way, it's a handball. And referee Farkas, no hesitation, without even consulting his assistant, showing that, yeah, it hit hand, hit arm. This is the free kick once again from Vanzi. And the first header by Dallas with the flick. And the Afiba Chamber, well, Levon Williams off his thigh and onto the hand of poor Javere Brown, the arm of Javere Brown. And that's why the referee says penalty.
Inadvertently, I was looking to see if it would have come off the thigh of Brown, but seemingly wasn't.
All right, so Andrew Vanzi has the task from 12 yards, number 12 from 12 yards against Kadeem Davis for 1-1. Humble Lion in a hole and needing a rope with some knots or even a ladder. Can Vanzi provide either? Captain Vanzi with Humble Lion's penalty. Vanzi, low and to the goalkeeper's right, and successful. That's 1-1. Humble Lion back into this game.
And Davis there, he guessed right, but with the pace from Vanzi, I was never going to get to that. Always going away from him, hitting the side net. We talk about set pieces being crucial in this one. The penalty came from a set play, a ball played into the box, and then from the penalty spot, that set play. Then Humble Lion are back into this one. Good penalty kick.
Low and hard. Davis slapping the turf in frustration because he guessed right. But too much power, the placement too good.
Yes, always going away from him.
Yeah.
So the shutting down from Dookie, maybe averted here.
What does he do now? Because he's still playing against 10 men, even though his advantage on the score sheet is gone.
Yeah, I think he has to go for it.
Lumsden. This game was okay before the water break, but since the water break, we've had 2 goals ascending off, and the game has really caught fire. Here's O'Connor.
Well, whatever they put in that water, they have to keep it going.
Lewis checks onto his right foot, pants. It's a shot. Lewis does. Wide of Harrison's goal.
Yes, Lewis is that attacking, that fullback who likes to, or he's a wing back who likes to go forward, pretty much. That's how his coach described him. I think Davis is down.
Yes, he is. And he's taking off his gear. Gloves off, boots off. And I think he's done. Oh, well, he's asking for a change of boots. So is he saying then, Dwight, that he didn't get the kind of push off that he needed from his standing position, and he's cursing the black pair of boots for not enabling to save that penalty?
Well, you and I had a little discussion pre-game about the turf, and a lot of players getting their studs stuck into it, and we've heard them complain somewhat about it on this artificial turf. So maybe we can have a look back at it and to see if he didn't get that purchase or that push off that he wanted.
I'm really wondering though. So, well, this angle
probably wouldn't be the
not
best
that
one.
helpful. Yeah,
Maybe the one from behind the goal that we saw.
You know what? I think that's what's happening though, Dwight. I think he's saying that if my boots were better, I'd have been able to get a more firm push off.
And because he was very close to that ball that went into the back of the net from the penalty. I'm not sure if he still would have gotten there, because it really was a good penalty and always going away from him. But anything to really take away from his technique for him conceding his first goal of the season.
I tell you what, it's not a case of a bad workman blaming his tools, because Kadeem Davis is a good workman. But that's perhaps the first time I've seen a goalkeeper change his boots after failing to stop a penalty.
Yes, well, let's see what he will do for the rest of the game.
All right, so Humble Lion are back in it. And of course, Dwight, you're looking out for whatever tactical change they would have made to account for the fact that they're a man short. And not just any man, their centre half and captain, Lewis, is gone. So you're going to tell me short order what they've done to make up for that.
And what we've seen is they've taken away in terms of they were playing a 4-2-3-1 system, and we suspect they would have dropped and just have a point player, and the two wide of him, one would have gone just in behind, and maybe two up front we're looking at for Humble Lion now.
Lewin beats two men, they collide, but they're fine. Here's Lewin. Humble Lion.
I think they've gone to a 4-2-1-2 system.
I think the ref will have to bring this back though. There's a man down for Vere. The officer still says play on though. Dallas with a shot from distance. Blocked by Campbell. And Brown lips in and wins for Vere United. Doesn't really have much going on, so he puts it into touch so his teammate O'Connor can get some treatment. O'Connor's collision, I think he kicked his own teammate in the head, and you thought that the man who got the blow in the head would be the one requiring treatment, but maybe a tough head that O'Connor kicked, because he's down.
Yes, he is.
I note, Dwight, that Humble Lion have moved Lewin from his station on the left hand of their attack. He's now on the right because it was his dribble that caused O'Connor to get himself hurt in the tackling his own teammate. Don't know if that was an isolated incident or that's part of the changes that Andrew Price would have made with Humble Lion's attack.
He was playing out wide, but I think, as I said, probably having 2 points up front in terms of going to a 4-2-1-2 instead of a 4-2-1-3, just that he can keep some presence going forward, not taking away from his attacking play. And we see it could be a case where, well, Vanzi is his ball handler deeper in the field, so I suspect he will not drop him deep into defense. But we'll wait to see it. It may take a little while just to see it settle out, but he will want to keep four at the back.
Is it that Afiba Chambers would have gone at centre half? Because in his Reno days, Dwight, I saw him play everywhere. I saw him play at centre forward in a match at Stets. I can't recall the opponent for Reno. I've seen him play at centre half. I've seen him play central midfield, and I think he's going to partner.
I think it's more likely that he will go because Vanzi more of the ball handler, more the one looking to play those forward passes.
So Vere for the moment down to 10 men. Actually, O'Connor was tackled by Javier Brown, but they did catch Brown in the head with his follow-through, but was tackled by Brown, who was trying to stop Lewin's dribble. Unsuccessful in doing so. O'Connor is back, so Vere back to 10 men. Here he is, O'Connor. Looking for a pass. Manzi. Crowded out in the midfield by the Vere attackers. O'Connor to Brown. Back to O'Connor. Dennis wants it. Doesn't come to him. Lewin now. Gets there ahead of Plummer. Back to Rodney. Drake. To Thomas. Has some time on the ball. To Lewin now. Lewin being urged to go forward by Vanzi. And Campbell comes across and halts Lewin's progress. Only has two options for the throw. Lewin takes it short. Lewin driving into the box. His progress halted by Lewis. Drake has forever to take this down. So yeah, FIBA Chambers is partnering him in the back. Oh! Almost given away there. Lewis for Vere. O'Connor. Is a change of the point of attack in order? Yes, it is.
I think Williams has tucked in a little bit as well. And we see Dallas, who have gone beside Vanzi pretty much.
In the midfield, this is Dennis. Doesn't have many passing options. Goes back to his centre half. Lumps it on the half line. This is O'Connor now. Messam. His flick going nowhere.
I think in the first part of the first half, we saw Vanzi, when he got on the ball, had a lot of time to really look up and pick those passes, or try to pick the pass. He's not going to be getting that luxury as they're down to 10 players. As we see
Chambers fouling
Harrison,
yes, in a dangerous position. Positions have been dangerous, but they really haven't really threatened from these set pieces. Here's the play once again. Yeah, kicking through the back of his man's leg.
Easy decision there for referee Parkinson. Still haven't seen much of Harrison for Vere.
Guess what? The skipper, the centre half for Vere, is on free kick duties in this advanced position once again. So they have 6 men in the box in white shirts. Messam hanging out just towards the edge, being picked up by Thomas. Campbell, a 2-man wall to bypass first, and then to find the man in the white shirt. The free kick comes in. Meet and drink from Michael Harrison in the goal for Humberland. Sets Lewin free. Doesn't have much in terms of support in front of him though. Lewin gets away from O'Connor and goes down. This must be a yellow card. Yes, it is. Referee Farquharson going to his pocket once again. And O'Connor gets his name taken.
We see 4 minutes being played by referee Farquharson at the end of this first half.
Lewin is not your typical winger, a very muscular kind of winger. You don't see wingers usually built like this.
But he's getting the job done.
Yeah, looks like a tough lad. Takes a heavy fall, but back up without complaint. Breaking his fall there nicely, rolling. Anyway, Vanzi presides over this free kick. His task to pick one of the 5 green shirts in the box. Vanzi's kick goes towards Davis, who gathers easily. Not interested in getting the fast restart, Kadeem Davis. Uses Lumsden instead as they play from the back there. Brown. Lewis. Plummer. Lewis on the overlap. Blocked by Drake. Here's Rodney fitting for the sandwich. And the salami gets eaten.
Rodney there crowded out.
Being urged to relax by Vanzi, meaning take your time. Half time is approaching. Don't be in a rush to take this free kick, youngster, is what Vanzi's saying to him.
And reminding him they're down to 10.
Vanzi. Oh, Thomas. Ricardo Campbell with a big clearance. Thomas once again now has Williams. Williams in the box. Williams on the left. Ooh, took another touch. Just thought he was going to shoot there for a minute. Levon Williams.
Looks like inadvertently come off his right boot as he was about to strike it with the left.
Dallas fouling O'Connor. O'Connor gets back up to his feet, beats his man. Lovely from O'Connor. This is Messam. Just retaining possession from here. Very intelligent from Messam to Brown in midfield. Plummer has some space and time to work with and has passing options, even as an overlap. Oh, Dennis's pass is bad. But still Messam dancing around a couple challenges. Goes down, wants a free kick. Nothing doing, says the referee, and Lewin wins possession for Humberland. This is Thomas now. Thomas can't hold off Brown, who's determined, wins the tackle. Thomas runs back, knocks his man over, and the referee says it's a foul on Dennis.
Expecting that free kick to come once Thomas didn't get the call he wanted, and not surprising with that passage of play that the Vere gets a free kick. Seems to be just a knee as well.
I'm not sure Duki would be pleased though by how wasteful his team have been. Well, non-threatening from these free kick opportunities. They've had several of these just around the 18-yard box, left, right, central, and they've not asked the goalkeeper a question just yet.
We felt it would have been a key moment in the game, set plays for both these two teams, but you're right, Vere with the lion's share of it, but not doing well.
Plummer this time can't get beyond the FIBA Chambers' chest, and referee Farquharson has seen enough of the first half. An eventful first half, one here to take the phase between the water break and now, where Vere United went 1-0 up through Ricardo Messam. And then they went up, well, they had a man up for a while after Linville Lewis was sent off, the Humberland skipper. But then Humberland had an opportunity from a penalty, which Andrew Vanzi made no mistake from 12 yards. And Andrew Price has at least a basis to have a positive team talk with his team. Duki will be wondering what he can do to exploit the numerical advantage, Dwight.
Lewis being brought in, you suspect will be alongside Vanzi and allowing Vanzi just that because he has the range of passes from a deep line role, being able to make those raking passes.
All right, so Ricardo Messam, goal scorer for Vere United, wearing number 9, and Harrison, who stopped Lewis's flailing arm with his neck and caused the Humberland skipper to be red carded. He gets us on the way. Lumsden in possession. Saw a lot of it in the first half of Vere. To his midfielder Brown, back to Campbell, across to Lewis. Lewis. To Harrison, back to Lewis. Trying to slip Dennis in. Sliding tackle by Chambers, not effective, but bailed out by his teammates. Humberland clear their lines.
It's also going to be interesting to see how Vere approach it, playing out a character. You feel they're going to be forced to do so in terms of taking the advantage to Humberland in terms of the man advantage. They're going to have to be the ones forcing this game, and we're interested to see how they play.
Salmon gazing, chiding O'Connor for putting that ball behind him and giving away that throw. But O'Connor was bright, the man wearing number 25 for Vere United in that first half, Dwight.
Yes, he was bright. He took the ball up, a lot of dribbles, and it was really the one that concerned Humberland the most once he was on the ball, along with Messam.
Here's Brown, trying to find Harrison. Ooh, slides and takes a kick to the midriff. Still down, referee Farquharson not stopping play. Levon Williams in possession, and sportingly, he puts it into touch.
Yes.
Tyrese Harrison went to challenge, and if you see here, he was sliding. Oh, it was a thigh. Afiba Chambers' leg coming through, and
or maybe the two knees coming together,
nailing him. I think he got it more in the thigh, well, Harrison. Afiba Chambers' knee. So yes, one knee was involved.
It would be interesting that the 2 times we've seen Harrison for Vere, it's pretty much when he got injured.
Yes.
Not much
there.
Otherwise.
Yeah. Not much else. So sportingly, Humberland put that ball out so that Harrison could get treatment. Let's see if Vere are sporting in return. And Salmon being instructed to give them back. I'm quoting here. And he does. Chambers now, building from the back for Humberland. Lewin to Rodney. Rodney under pressure from Plummer. Lewis backs him up. And now Javier Brown saw a lot of the ball in the first half of Vere United as well. Gave away the penalty, but did play well in those first 45 minutes.
To be fair to him, inadvertently hit the arm. He knew nothing about it, you feel.
Yes. Lewis in the action to Lewin. Williams wants it. Lewin still on the run. Can he get the cross in? But look at Ricardo Campbell. Read the play from about 4 seconds before. Just trotted across. Knew where Lewin was going. Put his body in the way to block the cross. Rodney, his cross met by Brown. Back to Campbell. Vere building slowly from the back. Ooh. Drake slips, but pushed over by Harrison, says the referee.
And there will be some gaps for Humberland to play into, with Vere looking to be a little bit more expansive than normal. And I think that works in their favor, the fact that they're down to 10 players. They're going to have better quality passes than that if they're going to exploit those spaces.
So Duffy warming up 3 substitutes for Vere United, which does give the impression that he may freshen up one of the units of his team, more than likely attack.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Harrison is the one that comes out. Hasn't really given him the type of threat he would be looking for with a man advantage.
And so even from here, Dwight, would a point be deemed a Pyrrhic victory for Andrew Price, given that he fell 1-0 down, fell a man down at the same time that he was 1-0 down? Now at parity, if he holds this to the end, would you think he would say, job well done under the circumstances, or he'd be disappointed?
No, I think he will be the happier of the two coaches for sure. If you ask him if he can get a win, he will take it, Coach Price, but I'm pretty sure it's a case where if he gets the point, he will think, based on the circumstances you just mentioned, it would have been a point well earned.
So a Dookie team must prompt the pace now. Here's Dennis. Has it on his left foot, goes with the outside of the right foot though. Did interest Harrison, who just watched it squirm by his left-hand post. Dennis doesn't seem to have much in the left foot, because look at the turn. It was there to be struck on the left, but
there was no, I mean, he reduces the probability of getting the ball into the back of the net by using the right foot there. It was certainly running across the right to the left, and striking with the left would have been the better option.
Utility man of Vere Chambers. Roden can't get to it. It was a poor pass, to be fair. And Roden ticks off his centre-half partner. Lumsden now collects for Vere to O'Connor. The stats would show that O'Connor has attempted more dribbles than any other player on the field so far, the man wearing 25 for Vere.
And he has a good success rate as well.
Here he is. Brown. Assist to Harrison. To Plummer wide. Has an overlapping run from Lewis. Doesn't use it. Back to Brown. Good closing down by Lewin. Excellent. Lewin on the break. Doesn't have much help. Lewin still going, and he goes down under a challenge. Could this be a second booking for a Vere United man? Yes, it is. Excellently played by Lewin. One possession, drove forward, knew he didn't have a passing option really, and just waited for the tackle to come, knew it would come, and then made the most of it when it did come, and gets his man booked, Javier Brown.
Yes, so often we see players in the game here now just inviting the challenge. Didn't look to drive forward because, as rightly said, didn't have the support, and just checked his run. In the end, Brown bought the dummy and got a card for it.
So two Vere United midfielders in the book, O'Connor and now Brown. And Lewin has looked all afternoon the most dangerous Humberland man, the man wearing number 15, stocky. And Vanzino has this free kick. Vere Chambers! Ooh, whistles by the goalkeeper's right-hand post and holds his head, the ex-Reno man, because he felt he was in the money there, if only for a second. Rose highest, met Vanz's cross with a good header. And this is the replay. Vanzi puts it on the button for a Vere Chambers. Missed by much in the end, but felt he should have directed it on target.
Yeah, I felt so too, because he really was unchallenged in the end, and at least hitting the target. He would have been disappointed that he didn't do that.
Here's Plummer for Vere. The transition attack. Plummer driving forward around Vanzi, who goes into the book, knew what he was doing, the Humberland skipper. Knew he had to tackle, knew he had to foul. And halts the counter, gives away a free kick.
Second time we've seen Vanzi. I think the goal for Vere came in that first half after they took a free kick from an infringement similar to that committed by Vanzi. I don't think he will want a repeat of that.
A well-behaved group of players on both sides, because nobody has argued with the referee for whatever he has done. Not even the red card was argued. Players just looking to get on with it, trusting the judgment of Industrial Arts, you say, William Nim.
In fact, it has been some fierce challenges have been a part of it, but you're right, the spirit of the game has been played in good spirit.
Lewis over this free kick for Vere. Puts it on the button. Harrison will gather those all day with a martini in one hand. Sends it long for Thomas. Can he get it? Campbell clears before it falls. Here's Wilvaughan Williams. Rob. Dennis. Brown. And there's a man down for Humberland. And sportingly, well, these guys are all nice guys, it seems.
Yes, for the second time we've seen that. So I guess fellow Parishes, they're living in good spirit. And like I said, there have been many firm challenges in the game, but for the most part, the players have gotten on with it.
This doesn't look good though, because the substitute, Gregory Lewis, is favouring the right hamstring. He's only just come on, not been on the pitch 10 minutes.
I wonder if he was properly warmed up to come on. I mean, he would have had the entire 15 minutes of the interval.
Rowan Richards looks about 30 pounds heavier than when he burst onto the scene in this league for Jamalco. And for the first 3 months of that season, I think it was 2018-19, he was the best winger in the league.
It's interesting to see him going down the flanks now.
Wow.
With that weight.
So Lewis jogs off. He's done. Kicks the water cooler in frustration, Gregory Lewis. A substitute just after, well, at half-time, he doesn't even last 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's very frustrating as
so,
well.
So guess what? Thomas comes off. Rowan Richards comes on for him, and it looks like Hugh Howell is going to come on for Gregory Lewis because he's stripped and ready. The man who goes by the moniker Gorilla. There's Gregory Lewis, disappointed. And he didn't kick the cooler, Dwight, in case you're wondering, with the right leg, which is the injured leg. He kicked it with the left leg. I was looking.
So he's quite conscious of what he's doing.
Yes, sir. So Hugh Howell comes into the midfield. So enforced changes for Andrew Price. Made a tactical switch at half-time. And the man who was a tactical substitute had to be taken out because he got himself injured. Gregory Lewis, a right hamstring going. Rohan Richards in and Hugh Howell in. Plummer with the cross. Brown with the first. Did it cross the line? The referee is asking his assistant, and yes, it's a goal.
Well, it did look so from the first point, and yeah, it's definitely gone across the line, and I think by a fair bit as well.
What is it about restarts that doesn't agree with Humberland? Out of the restart from the water break, they conceded a goal. And out of the restart from the changes, Humberland, they made the changes. They weren't switched on. Vere went attacking down the left-hand side. Looked to have been Plummer beating one man. Looks, surveys the landscape, drives this one in. And trapped by, looked to be Harrison. And then Messam. That would be his second goal because he was the one who helped it over the line.
It's definitely Messam's goal. You feel, yeah, he was the one that hit. I don't think he knew much about it though. Just bounced off him and into it, but he was in the right place at the right time. And so often after substitution, players coming onto the field and not switched on, as you said, George, and not picking up their markers. And a game restarting from set plays. Again, it's an issue here, and Humberland will have to really go at it again.
But hugely disappointing though, Dwight. You expect this at a lower level of football, at the top flight in the land. You don't expect players to be at 6s and 7s from a break. You have to be cued in and clued in. And Humberland had no clue. The restart, after they made their own substitutions, they weren't ready for the restart, it seems. Caught cold. And Vere twisted the knife after plunging it. So 2-1. Vere in front. And a man advantage as well. Donovan Duki's team has a platform to go and control this game and take all 3 points from here.
And we see them looking to do that, passing casually the ball around into the spaces, not really looking to go forward at the moment, looking for the perfect pass.
Lewin battling in midfield for Humberland. Did he throw out an arm? Yes, referee Farquharson says you threw an arm illegally and caught, guess who? Harrison in the face. He's been in the wars.
I guess he's on the field to attract the challenges, because that's the most we've seen.
Lewin protesting to the referee. This is the first time I've seen a man really quarrel after being booked. Oh yeah, he put his arm up, but he's saying that I put my arm up to protect myself, and I quite agree with him, because Harrison was running in, and
it wasn't a flailing of the arm.
Yeah, Campbell sympathizes with him, the Vere skipper, but that's of no value because Lewin goes into the book.
Yes, there's no way referee Parkinson was going to reverse his decision, but I mean, Humberland now will have they have a lot to do with it. We saw when they settled out after the resumption of the half, and we see Coach Duke there quite pleased, you feel, and you see him telling his unit there that I'm pretty sure he's telling them, look, we have to control this game, we have to be organized, we have to keep our shape and close this one out. We cannot allow them to come back again with 10 players.
I'm agreeing with you on that. I'm saying also though that it really is a bad mark when you have 2 breaks in play and you concede a goal out of the 2 major breaks that we've had. Well, halftime is the most major break of all, but you get the drift. During the run of play, 2 breaks, and you concede coming out of those 2 breaks. That's not good. It's poor concentration.
Just themselves to blame, and yes, it comes down to concentration. Players coming in not really in tune with their responsibilities.
Gamble goes short to Brown for Vere United. He'll have a pop from distance. The cameraman, not even he in danger.
Maybe a plane passing by would have been.
There you go. Or a drone flying at a low height. So Humberland are the ones now who have to show some urgency with the 10 men. Roden tried valiantly to keep that ball from crossing the line for the second goal scored by Messam, but unsuccessful. Lewin on the run again, pushed over by Plummer. It's a free kick.
But there could be an opportunity here for Vere also to increase their goal tally as well. It's really going to be a tight league, you feel.
Manzi, excellent touch by Richards. Finds Howell back to Richards. Kenny Worker shooting angle, Vaughan Williams crowded out. 3 Vere men running and blocking any chance of a shot. And Lumsden, the centre half, takes possession. Nice to Messam, the 2-goal man on a hat-trick. Ricardo Messam, we must say. Can he get the first one of this new season?
And in fairness to Messam too, not only the 2 goals, George, but early in the game we saw that he was the man that Vere was going to use to really penetrate and give problems to this Humberland defence, and he has done so well, and also with the 2 goals.
Yeah, industry, a lot of industry from him, and you're right with that word, problems. He's caused the Humberland defence problems. The goals are not the flashiest, but he's been in the position, and that's a half of the job. There's Plummer again on the left foot, trying to whip that in on the run, and under pressure from Rodney. Sending it behind. Well, it took a deflection. It's actually a throw. So actually, it was good defense from the Humberland man, because Plummer really wrapped his foot around that. The man whose low cross caused havoc in the Humberland defense led to the second goal for Vere.
And I'm going to give Coach Doki some credit here, because he's looking to close this game out, not in its usual fashion of just putting up blocks. He's looking to get the 3rd goal. That would certainly, you feel, take the wind out of this Humberland team.
All right, but we're 63 minutes in as goalkeeper Harrison is down. We're in the 63rd minute. Duki hasn't gone to his bench yet. And he has the advantage. He has 3 substitutes, as I was saying, warming up. I know looks as if he's going to give he's giving instructions to 1. And Dennis is down. Dennis is down for Vere. Harrison is down for Vere as well. So Vere has 2 men down, the goalkeeper and one of their attackers.
I think Dennis' situation is his footwear. I think has lost the bottom of his boot.
The obvious thing to say is not the political correct thing to say, because you know a certain wholesale run by a certain last name that we can't call for obvious reasons, but I wonder if he bought it there.
Not intended. Only you would pick it up.
Do you know that my grandfather's last name is Chin? So I leave it there. And in case anybody believes I'm saying anything out of turn, it is actually Chin, yeah? There you go. So, all right.
It is Chin.
It is Chin. And I'm not linking that to the wholesale and the Mr. whoever he may have bought that shoe from. There you go. All right, so the goalkeeper is getting ready once again. Well, Kadeem Davis, is he changing his boots again? Yes, he is. So it's all happening here. Now the question is from here, Dwight, what will happen out of this break? This is another break in play. from the 2 in-play breaks that we've had, Humberland have conceded goals. Let's see if Lightning can strike a 3rd time. They better come out of a break here.
And maybe the difference this time is that Humberland will have the ball to play back in, I think.
They're using the time to take a water break. Meanwhile, Duki looks as if he's getting ready to put number 19 in, Dwight.
Yeah, I guess he's looking now to freshen up things and try to get the go-ahead goal that he feels would kill this game off. And I suspect that's going to be on the attacking side of things for Vere. And if he can manage to close this out, I mean, this Vere team, marshaled by Coach Duki, will sit at the top of the table jointly on points.
It's not pretty from them all the while, but guess what? They're very difficult to score against. And you spoke at the top about defenses winning championships. Yeah, he has a blueprint. It's just a case of does he have the talent and the game luck that one needs to do just that. And of course, it's far too early to be talking about anything like that. But I'm just saying, I think Davis made an adjustment to his footwear. He's keeping faith with the pair of boots he has on, Kadeem Davis, the Humberland coach, Humberland goalkeeper, beg your pardon. But he's made an adjustment to that, maybe an insole adjustment or something. But he keeps the footwear. All right, let's see what happens out of this break. It will be a Humberland ball. Roden throws to Howell. Blocked by Messa, the 2-goal man for Vere.
And doing the work defensively.
Oh yes, there's a change going to be made now. Number 24 is coming out for Vere. You called it right. Harrison has been in the wars. Tyrese Harrison, number 24. And number 19 comes in. That's Kevin Johnson.
To say Harrison has had a quiet game is really an understatement. Really not really affecting this game.
Some robs Howell and retains possession for Vere. Vere on the attack. The new man, Kevin Johnson, his first touch is good. Johnson on the left foot. Harrison goes low to his right. Makes the easy save.
It's always good for a player coming in on the converse of Humberland players coming in not taking up their responsibility. A player coming in on the attacking side, getting a shot off pretty much with his first touch. That will offer well for him, you feel.
Yep. Well, at least Vere have stayed true to what they've done so far. Out of the 2 breaks they scored. Out of that break, they had a shot on goal that required a save from the goalkeeper. So yeah.
I think he will tell you that he would have recognized that Humberland are not really switched on coming out of base.
Sir Vanzi was an appeal for a free kick which the referee ignored. Eva Chambers now. Hugh Howell, Excelsior man. To Roden. Does he have a cross? Yes, he does. But no man in a green shirt there. Ricardo Campbell heading out easily. Dennis. On the run. Uses Johnson. Johnson's first time pass, trying to knock it into the path of, well, it was a heavy touch for Dennis and it was too weak for Plummer, so it was a bit of nothing. Campbell heads away authoritatively for Vere. This is Johnson once again. I've seen a lot of the ball, the substitute. Brown tentatively into that tackle because Drake arrived early on the scene for Humberland. And now Salmon for Vere. Messam. Plummer turns away from Hole. That was neat from Ramon Plummer.
I think Plummer's taking up where O'Connor's left off. He's the man taking the dribbles in the attacking third here for Vere.
Yes, indeed. Vere trying to waste time. Humberland want to get play restarted quickly. And now Howell handbags at...
Is it Johnson?
Yeah, Johnson. Yeah.
No, in fairness, Johnson has been trying to prevent the quick start for Humberland.
You know, in certain situations, the word shub is a better word than push. Because I can push you. A push can be gentle, can be difficult, but a shub is never gentle.
Even the sound of the word.
Well, there you go. Well, there you go. But shub is not standard English.
Yes.
This is a top quality broadcast, so let's not spoil it. But Johnson heads away momentarily. Loses out to Rodney.
Still having 3 substitutes warming up is Vere. Really think Duke's trying to close this one out with a goal.
I'm looking though, Dwight, at Humberland's path to an equalizer. And I'm sure you're going to say set piece because I'm not seeing it from the run of play so far.
Yeah, very difficult for them, and I spoke of it earlier, don't want to repeat myself, but it was, I think, their best option even at the start, but being that Coach Duke can be so organized, but even when they went down to 10 players, it amplified that position that might be their best option. Now down to 2 goals, you feel, yeah, that's the case. Easy call there for referee Lewis, being challenged unfairly. But yeah, set piece might be their best option. They're not being able to restart the game quickly because Vere is switched on, so they can't catch them on the counter, it appears. And because of the scoreline, Vere can be balanced with their approach, not throwing caution to the wind and throwing a huge number forward, always having 3 or 4 players back.
Ricardo Campbell floats this. Plummer trying to control, but Rodney, his defending was good, strong, and fair. He wins the free kick. Howell to Rodney. Humberland, you sense the urgency for the team in green and red.
But if they can stay in this game long enough, down to probably the 75th minute, well, 80th minute rather, you feel like for the last 85 minutes, the about last 5 minutes, they could get something out of it.
Yeah, Plummer is down. He's saying he took a shot to the face, to the cheek. And it may have been in a tussle with Rodney. Serious enough for the stretcher to be sent for by referee Farquharson. And we're seeing on replay here, so scrapping with Rodney and the elbow. Yeah, that point at the elbow, just nipping him, just a nick.
Not on purpose. I doubt Rodney knew anything about it, apart from when it actually made contact.
Yes. So, not even a talking to from the referee, in accordance with what you're saying. No malice involved. Purely accidental. All right, Humberland with the restart. Vere down to 10 men for the moment.
Yeah, always going to be too much for Roden to get onto the end of that one.
Someone in defense for Vere. They lead 2-1. Messam with both goals. Chambers is fouled and Dennis is ignored. Nice by O'Connor to get out of a jam, but the referee says he was fouled nonetheless.
Now, O'Connor is a player with good touches.
Very confident. Always looks to go forward. Head up when dribbling. Good attributes. Here's Kevin Johnson. Ooh, second touch awful. Inviting the clearance from Roden. Campbell now. Vere's captain. Another long pass. Plummer. Drake in his back, he goes down. No free kick this time. Roden, hand into the face of Lewis. Still battling. And Lewis emerges out of a melee for Vere United. Sends Messam, the hat-trick man. Nice flick. O'Connor gathers. Still O'Connor on the left. Finds Johnson. But Roden defending, and the referee sees the Vere man writhing in pain on the turf. Looks to be Plummer.
Yes, Plummer. You spoke about him earlier, George, saying that there was a player inside there.
Yes.
And we've seen a bit of it come out today.
For sure.
And I guess Coach vindicated for bringing him in, Coach Duke, into this one. And we hope he's okay.
If anything, it was that his head connected with Drake's chin. No, is Drake's chin so strong that
must be a pointed end.
Yes,
on that chin.
Down for the count.
And Plummer is, well, his head different, yes, but not a man that you think would go down riding. But miraculously, he's up.
Yeah. Again, but if you look at the clock, it's what footballers who are on the team that's leading do at this stage of the game.
So hopefully the teacher would have been keeping the records quite well and realizing that he would have to add all those times back on.
How do you rate so far the performance of the referee? He's been busy. He's had to give out a few yellow cards and a red card, and make a call that led to a penalty for Humberland as well.
I think, as we said, the red card, maybe a straight red, but we failed even a yellow. I think he has been, it's been equitable from him. I don't think in a case one team can complain that he has been unfair to them and the other. As you saw, there was no complaint on the red card. Very little from the penalty shout. Only Brown was trying to attest. So I think we haven't spoken much about him, which is the marker which you can say it's a decent game from him.
Yeah, I think he's done rather well, because we were saying no red card after about 3 replays. He only had real time. So can't criticize him for that. Williams' control is bad from a pass from Vanzi that was interesting, given the position that Williams was in. Anyway, Lumsden attempts to come out of defense for Vere. To Lewis. And Duki berating Lumsden, saying, stop dribbling out of defense, pass! And the coach really getting angry, despite the man advantage that his team has and the goal advantage as well. What do you make of that, Dwight? The coach bawling at his centre half, don't dribble that ball out of my defense, you pass that.
As a coach, I'll side with him myself. I mean, you have advantage, there must be passing lanes that open up, and there are much more skillful players in front of you to do that work. Your work is to break up and then pass on the responsibility. So on that occasion, top mark, I'm siding with Coach Duki.
Lumsden feeling his Franz Beckenbauer or his John Stones, if you want to come modern. And Duki saying, no, you're not. You're Lumsden, you're a centre half. Pass that ball out and stop dribbling. Here's Lewis under pressure from Lewin, the hard-working Lewin for Humble Lion. Oh, Lewis makes a hash of the clearance after such good work. It's a Humble Lion throw. Humble Lion, we understand, are going back to their bench. Hope it works out better than the last time.
They're looking to bring in Graham, number 23. Sujay Graham.
Yes. Yes, Sujay Graham, number 23. Yes, he's coming in now, number 23. And let's see who the change will be. The fourth official has held up the number, but I don't see a player coming off. And
number 15, is it Lewis?
Lewin is there. Yeah, he's done so much work. I wouldn't be surprised if he's gassed, because I was just about to remark on the engine that he has, but that engine has sputtered. And so Lorenzo Lewin, after a very good shift for Humble Lion, it must be said, is out. And Sujay Graham, number 23, is in. That man has played his heart out for Humble Lion and has been a threat to the Vere players.
Also coming out is their number 10,
yeah,
Williams.
Yeah. That attempt to control a Vanzi pass on the edge of the 18-yard box suggested to me that he was tired. And Christian comes on for him, Jermaine Christian. 38 years old, Christian, a senior member of this team. Only Woolry Wolf on the, well, at 38, Christian is the oldest player in this squad today.
You normally associate that age with players continuing with goalkeepers.
Yes. So 2 changes made by Humble Lion.
I think it's around about that time where Coach Price believes he has held out, and maybe in this last 10 or 12 minutes that he can try and look to go for it. He's thinking losing 2-1. 2-1 is not so far off if he lost 3-1. He may just go for it. The incentive of getting a point from it is just too good for him to resist.
Yeah. But the individual mistakes and the collective mistakes undermining Humble Lion's challenge. Drake's mistake, bad for the first goal. And then we've spoken a lot about them switching off after 2 breaks in play. Here's Howell for them in the midfield.
Although those goals came from after breaks, George, you wonder if Coach Price might rule the thought that he still tried to go forward even down by 10 with 10 players and level on goals.
Yes, it is. Yes, maybe. Dennis on the edge of the box, offside. Plummer's dribble went directly at Hugh Howell. I thought he would have gotten a free kick, but then maybe the advantage was played because the ball broke to his teammate Dennis, but he was standing in an offside position. Christian, a smooth dribbler on his day. Nice turn, but fouled in the process. Don't know how fit Jermaine Christian is, but when he's on, he's a joy to watch. Excellent touch and little tricks and shimmies. I don't think he's anywhere near that capability given the state of fitness that he's in. But here comes Roden. Vanzi in an advanced position, and Lumsden after that ticking off from his coach just now, does what centre halves do, which is clear the lines.
And maybe Milan can take a point from that for the first goal conceded.
Yes, sir. Roden will take this throw. Can it be a long throw? No, it's a short throw to Chambers, a FIBA Chambers, centre half in the left wing position. Ball breaks to Roden. Someone gets to him quickly though and mops up for Vere. It's a Vere throw.
But you can't fault these two teams on today. Is effort. I think both teams have really put in some effort.
Yeah, to the extent that the tempo has dropped appreciably in the last 20 minutes or so though. And to be fair, this has been the choppiest section of the match with the changes and injuries and treatment and everything else. Missam slips in to Rob Chambers. Doesn't like his passing options, goes to his midfield, to the dribbler, O'Connor. This is Johnson. Johnson on the right foot, aiming the top left-hand corner of Michael Harrison's goal, and didn't find it.
One thing is for sure, you can see one of the attributes of Johnson since coming on. He's a player who's not shy of shooting, and he will take it from range. That's the second time we've seen him get on it, and for the both occasion, only one intention in his mind, and that's to go at goal.
Christian, nice turn. Roden. Graham wanted it, but he plays Howell instead. Hugh Howell over into the Vere half. Pass intended for Rodney, who was unplugged, wasn't on the same wavelength, and now Javier Brown goes down for Vere. Looks as if he's cramping up, maybe just running the clock.
That too, but he has put in a shift as well.
Oh, has played well.
Yes.
Has played well.
And he's been consistent in the games I've seen him so far.
Lewis has also played well in his left back for Vere.
Yeah, like I said about him, wasn't in the team for the first game, came in because someone had to be taken out, and since then, permanent fixture. In fact, winning the MVP award on the first day that he was a late starter.
Carter Campbell hasn't had much to do, to be fair, in the Vere back line, because the Humble line forward push hasn't been that troubling.
Been blunt to say. Campbell is normally steady, even when he comes under attack. The last game against Waterhouse, he was adjudged to be the man of the match.
So whereas the Vere attack has been outfitted with a dagger, you get the impression Humberland went over with a fudge stick, do I think? Not much you're going to do with that.
Not much, not a fair fight that would be.
Nope. So the game, as I noted, a bit choppy in the last 20 minutes, not fluent. The energy levels of the players has dropped appreciably. And Duki will love it like this because he has the lead, he has the man advantage. So if the game gets reduced to bits and pieces, that's exactly what he wants to happen.
Yes, and I think Coach Price would be disappointed that his set of substitutes have not been able to influence the game he would have wanted, in the way he would have wanted. Really no points yet for the Sunderland team. And you did ask if I feel they would trouble the top half of the table. They're struggling to even trouble the table at all.
Yes, indeed. And there is the added advantage of knowing that there is no relegation, but at the same time, club chairmen like to look at the Premier League table and see their team prominently placed. And Lester Mike Henry, the man who has run this team for so long, may have some contemplation to do where Andrew Price is concerned. Never like to see a coach lose his job, and I've never advocated for same. But Humberline is a project that has gone stale. The ball comes in, blocked by the goalkeeper. He came all the way through, no touch from a Humberline attacker, Kadeem Davis. If anything, it came straight to him because I don't think he moved to the direction of the ball. And a free kick in a dangerous position for Humberline as Rodney is scythed down as he tries to bear down on the 18-yard box.
And that's what Vere must be mindful about in terms of giving away free kicks. Yes, it was straight from Roden, and that's difficult for goalkeepers. You feel it's coming, not a lot of pace, but with a lot of bodies in front of him and running across it, he has to navigate and sometimes wondering if somebody will get a touch on it. So it was a good save in the end from Davis.
Yep, with all that we've said, there's only one goal in it, and it's a set piece that Humberland haven't had enough of so far in this game. The referee gives O'Connor a yellow card and sends him off the field, tell him to re-enter the field from the half line. I think he had
come off the field.
Yeah. And didn't come on at the right. A red card.
Red card, because he had a yellow card before.
Wow. So both teams now down to 10 men, and there is enough time on the clock for Humberland to capitalize on the fact that they're back on even keel in terms of the numbers. So they're losing their heads, it would seem. And he was set to be substituted, Shamar O'Connor. So this is bad for Duki, who's now complaining to
He's asking what went wrong.
Yeah. He's berating the official on his side of the pitch. He's saying he made the change. He's saying, trying to get the ref's attention to say, I made the change. The fourth official is getting involved now. And the fourth official is saying, hold up. Let's see what happens here. The referee is he jogging? Is he going to talk to the fourth official? Yes, he's moving towards him, Mr. Farkas-Niz. The fourth official is communicating to the referee. Maybe Duki is right that the change was made. But in all of this, the referee is saying, play ball. I made my decision.
The fourth official not indicating that the change was made. The player had not entered the park.
Yeah. So the referee is now explaining to Mr. Duki that no change was made. I never gave such consent. So yes, your man has been sent off. Both teams are down to 10 men.
It's interesting, and we suspect that there's going to be a good chunk added on to this one at the end.
Oh, yes. Humberland back in it.
And with a set piece.
Wow, disappointing end for O'Connor given the quality that he's shown this afternoon for Vere United. Humberland must get a boost from this. Here comes the free kick once again into the mix. Ooh, there was a flick on it, I think, from Drake, but didn't direct it goalwards.
It's not goalwards at all, but again, there was confusion in the box. And Davis really, with a lot of bodies bearing down on him, right on top of him. And you felt, it looked like it went all the way through.
So Dwight, you have the honor of picking our man of the match today.
I think it's one of the easiest days. I think if it stays like this, then there's only one candidate I have in mind, and that's Messam.
Yeah, the difference maker with his 2 goals.
And his all-round industrious play, as you mentioned.
Correct. But how things have turned, though, Vere were comfortably seeing out this game at 2-1 with a man advantage. Suddenly, both teams down to 10 men. There is time on the clock in regulation. There will be substantial time added on, I think. And Mr. Farkason, the referee, has gone across to have a word with Donovan Duki, who is still hopping mad at the fourth official. And now the referee goes to his pocket. He's going to book Duki for his constant haranguing of the fourth official. So Duki incandescent with rage because he's saying, I had my substitution lined up. You then sent off the player I was set to substitute, putting my team at a disadvantage, and I want justice.
But Duki is saying he was talking to his player, telling him not to do. I don't know, the referee felt, I don't know, you can't be too loud talking to your player. But in fairness, I think what I was hearing was an instruction to the player, unless he was saying something before to the fourth official. Or but the referee.
Well, Mr. Farkas is saying you want justice, but this is a football game. You can go to Sutton Street for that, where there are many courthouses. Not on my football field, sir. So the Vere coach goes into the book.
And a moment ago, George, you asked me about the performance of the referee. We said we didn't mention him too much, so he had a good game. Now we've mentioned him a lot.
It's your fault. It's the commentator's curse.
Yes.
So the referee having, I won't say trouble managing the tail end of this game, but having some challenges to his authority and stamping same. Now the fourth official gets ready to make a change, and it looks to be a Vere change.
This is going to be number 17, I think, coming out. That is Dennis.
And number 13 coming in at the next opportunity. So suddenly,
which I'm sure Dookie is going to make sure of when the opportunity arrives.
Rowan Richards for Cumberland. This is Rodney trying to trick his man, still battling his Rodney under pressure from Lewis. Rodney does well to win the ball almost to the byline, and it's a corner that he wins. Yes.
And you see on the line here, they've settled into pretty much with 10 players. They've been playing with 10 players for a long time, so they look seamless in doing so. But they're seemingly still adjusting to the 10 players.
Well, is it that Dookie is substituting a substitute? Because I see Kevin Johnson coming towards. No. Yes.
It appears so.
Yes, he has substituted the substitute, Donovan Dookie. Number 5. The ball goes up for number 5 coming out. This is all confusing because number 5 is still on the field.
Number 5 is...
Oh, 5 minutes extra time. All right,
Okay.
so 5 minutes time to be, well, 5 minutes time to add it on at the end of the 90. Right. So the
Johnson
substitute
is
that's
out.
coming out, yes. Anyway, the corner for Humberland at the back post. Kadeem Davis catches in the middle of his goal and will hold on to this for some time. So living up to his Jose Mourinho moniker, Donovan Dookie, substituting the second half substitute Kevin Johnson, replaced by number 13.
And I think what he's looking to do is to shore things up.
Anjay Gale comes in, number 13. Lumsden to Lewis. You made a point there, Dwight, that Cumberland are settled playing with 10. It's Vere that has to make the adjustments. Let's see how they manage the rest of this game. Christian's flick to nobody in a green shirt. Campbell will take his time over this clearance. What will he do? Will he go long or short? Goes to his goalkeeper. So an eventful first game here of this doubleheader on this Sunday.
Did you say befitting of a derby?
Yes, it has everything. The only thing we haven't had, and we hope we don't have, is your fisticuffs between and among players. We haven't had any hargy-bargy, to be fair.
Yes, but
we've had red cards. We've had 2. We've had goals. We've had handball. We've had
physical play.
A lot of hard tackles. We've had the lot. We've had the lot. The only thing, a punch-up between players. And we hope we don't get that. We've had a coach.
Or a coach send off.
Yeah, we've had a coach yellow carded, yes.
We could still have that.
Messam to Anjay Gale to Brown. Trying to fire Ramon Plummer into the action. Plummer can still get in, yes. To Gale, the substitute, running as if fresh. Launches a shot and goal! Ooh, that's lovely from Anjay Gale. Took possession from Ramon Plummer, the substitute. Checked onto the right foot and bang, low and hard to Mikael Harrison's right. And Harrison couldn't pick that out. That's 3-1, that's game, set and match. Vere putting the icing on the Black Forest cake on this Sunday afternoon.
But he came in for a man in Johnson who attempted twice to go from range, but I'm pretty sure he said to Johnson, this is how it's done. And that's a very good strike. Poor defensive header there. And once it didn't get any distance on it, once he picked it up on the right foot, it was always going to go for goal. And the keeper, when we look at it here, near post, you felt should have kept that one out, George. Firmer hand, you felt.
Absolutely so.
And might have even helped it going in.
Yeah, to be fair to him though, it was at the point where the ball was about to hit the ground, so it was dipping at that point. But yes, I agree with you, he should have done better. But what about Kamar Drake's header? Poor header from the centre half, because it was his header that gave Drake the opportunity, gave Plummer the opportunity to take the ball and to nudge it into Gale's path. So Kamar Drake's defensive clearance for Humberland turned into a pass for the Vere attacker, who then set up his teammate Anjay Gale, who checked in on the right foot. The shot had power at the goalkeeper's near post. You expect a goalkeeper to save those, but just at the point of dip is where Mikael Harrison went to effect the save, and his hand wasn't strong enough.
Always difficult for goalkeepers with the one dipping in front of them, but also Drake, was he the player also at fault with that clearance for the first goal?
He was, because he was trying to control a ball he should have cleared.
So having difficulty today, Drake's not a good day he would want to forget.
I've seen him have many better days, Kamar Drake, days when he's been man of the match of our game, our commentary game, but not today. At fault for the first goal, at fault for the second goal. There can be no argument about that, the centre-half letting his team down today.
For the third goal, that is.
Well, he left him down for the first goal as well, because he's the one who let right, so that's the point I'm making here. 2 of the 3 goals at fault, Kamar Drake.
Yes.
Humberland, the players are arguing among themselves now. Howell taking issue with the Fever Chambers' long pass just now. And we're almost at the end. Dookie making another change. Ramon Plummer comes off, and we spoke about him early, Dwight, and he really has had a good game, Ramon Plummer, setting up, well, facilitating 2 of the 3 goals this afternoon.
Yes, most definitely, and that occasion, no commentators curse where you didn't put that on him today. You spoke about a player inside there, and the player came out, and that extra B on his back didn't weigh him down today.
Not at all. Ramon Plummer exiting. And Dookie. Let's see what kind of mood he's in, because you know how he is. He'll still want justice, despite his team 3-1 up on the board and on the way to winning.
I'd want to think that he got the 3rd goal and it's not edgy towards there, and he may forget it. But you know Dookie, he will hold on to it for a long time.
Drake fighting to win a header in midfield for his team. Dennis running the wrong way for Vere, under pressure from Howell. And pushes him over, Howell does, so it's a free kick to Vere. So it's all falling apart for Humberland. They did have a chance to maybe fashion an equalizer when O'Connor got himself sent off. But instead, a substitute thrown on by Donovan Dookie, a late substitute, Ajay Gale, beg your pardon, coming on and rifling one with the right foot that dipped on Michael Harrison, made his job difficult. And 3-1, Javier Brown was the man who started that play. He gets the last kick of the game. Vere United have won the Clarendon Derby. Comprehensive 3-1 over Humberland.